What's up, everyone? I'm just making sure that I have everything going here. Um, Make sure that I can hear myself as well. Yep, I got that. So, thank you all for being here today on a Monday. Another Monday rant and discussion. I have to be House That Speaks coming to you live from the Chi-Town, Chicago. And we're going to go ahead and kick things off. So if you are new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I'm doing another Monday rant and discussion. For those who are viewing, listening, and checking us out on either Twitch or Facebook or X, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming through. I would like to make an announcement here. As of today, this channel has reached 200 subscribers. So I want to definitely send a special shout out and thank you for all my subscribers for being part of this channel. Here we address DJ gear, the DJ world, and all other aspects. We also starting to address the music side of DJing, or the music production side, because I am dabbling into that realm. So I want to make sure I address some of the things here, which brings us to today's discussion. Let me throw you here. Now, at first I was going to put something else on here regarding DAW, which was going to break things down further. That will be on the next discussion. But here I think it will be best to introduce all those who are entering into music production and things of that sort, to introduce you to the actual software that you're going to be working on, especially if you're dealing with a home studio. And because there are different types of DAW. So we're not going to address the different types extensively, but we are going to touch on some of those. So without further ado, let's go with the presentation. So, what is DAW? Okay, well, think of DAW as if you was a DJ, and especially if you're spinning, doing Twitch or whatever, but if you was a DJ, of course, there's two components that you need for DJing. You need your hardware, which is either your controller or your all-in-one system, or your CDJs and mixer, or CDJs or mixer, and you would need the software to play on those. Your record box, your Serato, your Algorithms DJ, your Engine DJ, your Virtual DJ. Didn't want to forget that one. And of course, I'm saying those are the ones I want to mention. So you definitely need your your software in order for you to play music on your hardware. Well, DAW works around that same capacity. In order for you to create music, to create your beats, your drums, your hi-hats, and all those, the synths and all those different things, you need a software to create and to record, and also to mix and master and all those things. You're gonna need that system. So DAW is that system for music production. Okay, DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation. Okay, as I was saying, it's a software that lets you create, record, edit, mix, and produce music in the computer, on the computer. Easy pleasing, lemon squeezy. That's what DAW is. Like I said, whereas record box is to us DJs as far as playing our music, DAW is to producers when they create the music we play. So think of it that way. Okay. We're gonna go to the next one. I know I'm starting 5 minutes early, but this is important stuff I really want to get out. So bear with me. So let's do it. Okay. Now, since we talk about what is the actual DAW, now what does it do? Okay, let's touch base on that. So, what does it do? Okay, it's basically a virtual studio. Now, if you know back in the days where you need all the big uh, mix boards and all those things to produce music, well, even though certain studios have those, they also have the software to go with that. And also, when it comes to music production, you don't need to go and rent a large studio to produce your music. You can do it at the privacy of your own home or home studio, so to speak. Okay, so, you know, so what you can do with a DAW? Well, you can record audio, which is vocals, instruments, and live music, program drums and melodies, arrange songs, edit and clean up sounds, mix and master tracks, export finished songs for DJs, radio, or streaming. So that's pretty much what you get out of your DAW. So just wanted you to keep that in mind. Next one. Okay, now with every software, there are always certain parts that is needed to make sure that software runs smoothly, and having a DAW is no exception. So the core parts of a DAW, okay, most DAW includes as follows: timeline arrangement views, okay, that's where your song is built, tracks, audio or MIDI, that's the drums, synths, and vocals, mixer, okay, volume, EQ, compressor, effects, plugins, instruments, synths, and samplers, and effects, reverb, and delay. Those are the parts that you need to create your tracks. And those tracks are utilized and played by us DJs. So when you're speaking about a DAW, if your DAW don't have those kind of these particular parts that goes with that DAW, then you may need to figure out why it doesn't, because every DAW should have what I just listed. Next one. Okay. Now, they said the DJs part. What DJs use DAW for? Okay, so yes, DJs do use DAW. There are DJs / producers that actually use certain DAWs to play their live music. Okay, so for DJs, especially house and techno, that's us. Okay, especially when we're producing our music, producing original tracks, of course, making effects, intro, outro versions, and DJ tools, recording radio shows and mixes, remixing tracks, sound design, and drum programming. Now, these are essential things for DJs who wants to become producers, who may have tracks that's currently out there that might want to remix them, might want to change, its style. You can do that, you know, you can do that using DAW. So it's not like it's not just creating a track from scratch. You can actually take a current or existing track that's out there and you can rework it. Why is it that we hear or we see certain tracks that has been remixed or dubbed or reworked? Because those producers use their particular DAW to do that particular task. That is why. So just want to let you know about that. Next one. Now keep in mind, I only use certain parts of this particular research regarding DAW. I will, as always, post the entire thing in the description box below. So do not fret. Okay. Particular DAWs and quick overview. Now, there could be other DAWs that's out there, but these are the DAWs that either they're mostly known or mostly utilized, by your favorite producer or DJ slash producer, or certain genres that use certain DAWs. For instance, Ableton Live, mainly used for house, techno, and anything that's regarding to those two genres or those subgenres, of, of I hate saying EDM of dance music. Anything that has revolving dance music, Ableton Live is the one to utilize. In fact, I'm learning how to use Ableton now. And let me tell you something. It's not easy. You have to be very patient. So, and that's another thing before I go into it. There's just a little disclaimer that I want to go, because someone told me this who happens to be a former producer of his own. And this guy was not only, gifted as far as instruments is concerned, he wrote his own music. So that's another level, even above my pay grade. What he said was that learning this takes time. You're not going to learn it right off the bat. So by me knowing and having that mindset, I know that I don't expect to even have a finished track that I feel that will be worthy of playing until probably sometime next year. So I just want to keep that in mind and let all my soon-to-be producers, wannabe producers, or producers that's doing it now know that this stuff takes time. Nothing is not going to be overnight. And if you think it is, think again. Okay. So I already said Ableton Live. FL Studios. I know most hip-hop DJs, hip-hop producers I meant to say, use that particular DAW. Logic Pro. Logic Pro is mostly used, it's used for just like Ableton, house music, techno, all that good jazz. But the thing with Logic Pro, it's Mac use only. If you have a PC, you cannot use Logic Pro. I think Cubase falls under that same rule. If you have Cubase, if you have a Mac, you can use Cubase. If you have a PC, I don't think you can use Cubase at all. And that's for Cubase, from what I was told by going through other producers. That particular DAW is mostly used for those who have used minis, because I have a mini myself, use MIDI with the keyboards strongly, and also composition tools, which means they not only they create their music, they write the songs for their music as well. So they're also songwriters as well as producers. So that's what Cubase does. Okay, Pro Tools. Now Pro Tools says the industry standard for recording and mixing, which I will have to take their word for it because some of these things I'm not familiar with. It's cost in these DAWs is concerned. And Studio One is a clean woofer and modern features. So these are the popular DAWs that's out there. Like I said, there could be other DAWs that's available, but not only these are the popular ones, I believe these are the ones that most legendary producers who've been producing for a long time, these are the DAWs that they mostly use. Now I know when it comes to house and techno, Ableton is their go-to. Period. It's the go-to. So, even though Pro Tools probably the industry standard for recording, mixing, and probably for DAWs, but if you're into dance music, Ableton Live is the one that you're going to utilize. And trust me, it's not easy learning that particular DAW. Not possible, but just not easy. Let's go. Okay, now what you need to use a DAW. Now you can't just use the DAW willy-nilly. I mean, there's other components that comes behind. Now, one of the things you need to use your DAW is, of course, a computer or laptop. And of course, depending on the DAW you want to use, you can now Ableton Live, you can use both Mac and PC. That's the one I know for sure you can use both operating systems. Both operating systems, you can use Ableton Live for that. Now, Logic Pro, like I said, is only for Mac. You can't use PC. And also, like I said, the other one, I think it's Pro Tools. No, Cubase, same one. If I'm not mistaken, you can only use that for Mac as well. I don't think you can use that for PC. But the first thing you need to do is get you a computer and, get you a computer or a laptop. Make sure it has all the specs is needed. So what I would suggest, if whatever DAW you choose, go to that DAW's website and check out the requirements that you need for your computer and make sure that your computer or laptop have everything needed for those requirements. And if they don't have it, then make sure you either upgrade it, or if you have to spend a little money to purchase a laptop or desktop, do so. I know I bought me, a desktop, so it can hold enough power and enough memory so I can use, the DAW, because I knew eventually I was going to dive into production, so I want to make sure I have the necessary computer that allow me to do that. Okay. Now audio interface. Now, there's a lot of audio interface that's out there. I would suggest you go to either Guitar Center or go to Sweetwater. I like Sweetwater because I can get it delivered to me, and if it's not the right fit or whatever, I can always return it and get my refund. And I've been, I have a great rapport with one of the salespeople from Sweetwater, and their customer service is tremendous. Their whole scope is awesome. And this is not me saying this. I'm not saying this because I'm being sponsored by Sweetwater. I'm not being sponsored by neither. I'm just telling you through the experience that I have using Sweetwater. So, but there's other websites that's out there that involves DJ equipment and things of that nature. So if you want to check out those out, Google that and then get your audio interface. Now, as far as audio interface is concerned, there's plenty of them out there. There's some great ones and stuff like that. The one I'm using for this live stream, right now is the Focusrite, and I like this interface. I mean, it was easy to install. It's pretty much plug and play. I got the right XLR cords and hooked everything in, and I'm off to the races. Now, eventually, I am going to get an audio interface for the production side, because what I do is I do my live stream on my laptop, but I doing my production on my desktop. So eventually, I'm going to need an audio interface, but I'm not going to get one right this minute. So next one, headphones or studio monitors. The suggestion is to get headphones first. Now, if you already have a studio monitor, which I do, by all means, utilize it and use it. But if you do not, use your headphones. You can always plug your headphones if you have an audio interface, you can always plug it to your audio interface. You can also plug it in to your desktop. You can also, if you have studio monitors, you can plug it in directly to your studio monitors. So headphones, you definitely going to need, because you're going to need to really listen closely to every nuance of the production that you're doing. Okay. Now, MIDI controller, even though I purchased one, that's also optional, because you can use your keyboards on your keys on your keyboard. You can use those as your keys to your DAW, whatever DAW that is. So you can use that, So just want to make sure I put that out there. Okay, next one. Okay. I hope. Now, this is how you should think when you're trying to select a particular DAW. Okay. Now, think of it this way: if a DJ software like Serato, and I forgot to mention Tractor, like Serato, Record Box Tractor, and the like, is for playing music, which we do need as DJs. A DAW is for making music you play. You see how that works? Okay? DJs need the software in order to play the music to their particular audience or live stream. Okay? The DAW is needed to actually create the music so the DJs can play it out in the audience or live stream. See how that cycle works? Now, instead of you being the one that's actually playing the music, now by using your DAW and other things that I discussed regarding musical production, now you're the one that's behind the creation of the music that you're going to be playing out. So, okay. I think that is it. I can come back here. Now, we're going to be discussing in depth on DAWs, on the DAW, on the next rant and discussion. But I really wanted to pretty much give you an introduction to what is a digital audio workstation, which is called DAW, and how you use it, and what it's used for, and the requirements that you need to use it. So I hope everybody got something out of this. I again thank all my subscribers for being there for me. we have reached 200 subscribers. Like I said, it's, under modification, YouTube standards, it might be enough. But as far as me on a personal level, I'm thrilled because I think I really started this channel probably maybe after COVID. I didn't ride the COVID wave like everybody else. I was focusing on Twitch, but now since I think I did this in 20. I think I really worked on it in 2024. So we already at 2026 and we're steady growing, and I appreciate that. So before I get out, I want to let you guys know the upcoming events that I have that's on the pipe. Okay. As you may or may not know, we do the Groove Garden every other Tuesday. That's 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, if you over across the pond, that's 12 a.m. CET time and 11 p.m. GMT time. I know that's late over there, but that's the time that I set myself. But like I said, it's every other Tuesday. So you can check that out. And that'll be on Twitch. Okay. Then you can check out my other show, which is once a month. And that's Sounds from the Shy. And you can listen to that on 54house.afm. That's every second Friday. Okay, that's 9 p.m. CET time, 8 p.m. GMT time, 2 p.m. Central time, and 3 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's every second Friday at 54house.fm. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, of course, Monday Rant and Discussion is every Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time. That's 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can check us out at YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and X. Okay, tomorrow, which is Tuesday, we'll be kicking off a new year for Twitch DJs, Techno Raid Train. I have the privilege and honor to be starting things off, and so we're gonna start at 7 p.m. Central Time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's on Twitch. You can also, if you're checking out my channel, you can also check us out at either Mixcloud Live and X, but mostly check us out on Twitch under HowSexSpeaks._. So, and also make sure a special shout out to all the DJs that's involved in this particular raid train. Like I said, we're gonna kick it off tomorrow, which is the 13th, and we're gonna go all the way to the 19th. So we got some days of nothing but techno goodness. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Appreciate that. Okay, then we got the Groove Garden. And that is every other, like I said, that's every other Tuesday. That's the flyer for the Groove Garden. I already mentioned that earlier. So, and then I have another show that I do, and that's on a monthly basis. And you can check me out there at www.pcr.fm. This radio station is based in Estonia, which is, I was shocked that it was stationed somewhere in the eastern part of Europe. So I'm glad for that, and shout out to those cats out there in PCR.FM for allowing me to have the platform to do Monday segments on their channel, on their radio station. As a matter of fact, it's an online radio show, so check that out. Chi-Town Grooves is the name. Then this Saturday, I have another transitions reveal and mini mix. And that's this Saturday, January 17th at noon p.m. Central Time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can find that one on Twitch, YouTube, and X. And this time we're going to be, I'm going to start the year out, try to bring the fundamentals back into the fold. I'm not sure if I did one regarding beat matching, but if I did, that's fine, because each year we can always get a fresher course, and especially always know each time, each year, each day, there's a new DJ out there. So if I can assist them in learning the fundamentals of the craft, then that will definitely be an assistance to them. So we're all about helping out our fellow DJs. So any way we can, let's do that. So please make sure you stay tuned to this particular segment, and it's live. So it's always live. So check it out. Okay. So thank you all for being here again. I appreciate your support. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know I'll be doing another Monday rant and discussion. This is House A Speaks, coming to you live from the Chi-Town, Chicago. Wishing everyone a happy Monday, happy work week, and as always, peace and love.